Wait, we don't. Okay.
That was like the worst one I've ever done.
I pressed record, and Ben was like, "I don't have an intro." It's not on camera. Like we're talking about Hard Eyes, by the way. I don't know how the hell you would have gotten that from that, but
I had 2 seconds
Hard
to think of an
Eyes.
intro.
You got
Yeah,
a romantic comedy horror slasher
yeah.
conspiracy, kind of a whodunit. It's from the same guy who did Happy Death Day. If you like that
Mm-hmm.
movie. If you've seen Happy Death Day and you haven't seen Hard Eyes, get off this video. We're spoilers. We spoil
Yeah.
things. Go watch Hard Eyes and come back. But
We're
I mean,
attractive people who spoil movies.
we spoil movies because we want to talk about movies. Okay, we want
We
to
want
talk
to
about
talk.
them. We want to talk like and not like well that thing that happened in like the 47-minute mark. You know what I'm talking about, Ben? You know, with like the coat hangers. Like, no, I want to say that he was in her fucking closet because that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Hard
No,
Eyes.
I like the movie. It gave me a Scream vibe, and that's a really good thing because like modern day Scream, because the past was it three Scream movies have all been really solid, and that's kind of what I thought the movie was trying to be, and that's a good place to try to be in a comedy horror movie. I like Olivia Holt. I haven't seen her in any movies recently. She was a child actor. I saw her, I remember her from Disney Channel, and I haven't seen her in a long time. And I think she actually did pretty good in the role. I think the story was pretty unique. You got people going on their first date on Valentine's Day, and you're having like, I like this guy, but he's also trying to steal my job in her mind.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm alone on Valentine's Day, and it's a hot girl, so I'm trying to get laid. That's basically, that's the movie. Spoiler alert. No,
That's not really what
but
it was. I mean, come on.
you have probably the two people who are least afraid of the Hard Eyes Killer because you have two single people on Valentine's Day, and that's who gets targeted.
Yeah.
It's a good script. It's a good idea. Good cast behind it. The problems I have, and we're nitpicking a little bit because I thought this was a pretty good movie. It was
Yeah.
it was what I expected it to be.
And just
It
wants to shit
probably
talk.
I always want to shit talk, man, but it was probably a little bit better than I expected it to be. I mean, they stretched the movie out quite a bit at the end. The drive-in scene with all the cars was cool. In theory, could have been better. I mean, are we really gonna have the Hard Eyes Killer find the car you're in because you got two hippies fucking? Like, like that was funny, but it was also like, why are they
Uh,
trying to share a romantic moment in the front seat when you got hippies fucking in the back seat? You
yeah.
know, like it's funny, but don't
And
try to have.
they were quiet for just long enough for you guys to say everything you wanted to say, and then they started
Yeah,
getting out of hand.
but then I had Haley giggling next to me because they were having like a heart to heart. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the heart to heart, it's oh, I'm just like, all right, we can't even focus on what they're saying because we got people fucking. And
Yeah,
yeah, so
you're not wrong.
there's a like certain couple of scenes that I'm like, okay, you didn't have to do that. I thought the random guy as the villain, I thought it was funny, but for the wrong reason. They pulled off his mask and they verbally said, "Oh, it's just a random guy." They
Yeah.
verbally said that. I'm like,
Who is
is
this
that
guy?
where this movie is ending?
Yeah.
Clearly, like, thankfully it wasn't. And that's the part where they stretched it out. The IT guy really wasn't.
And the cop,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, the cop was the big one. The IT guy was funny because she still didn't know who he was. We knew who he was, but they both like didn't know who he was. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? I'm the IT guy." And she's like no one knew who he was. I thought that part was funny. The cop just didn't make sense to me. Like that's the twist you have. It just I don't know. Um, I think I think if you have that like drive-in scene and you have that, I think you make that the end of the movie. You can make the IT guy, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can even make the cop, like it is what it
It
is.
ties it together a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
a bit of a stretch, I feel like.
hmm But like end it at the like that's a cool place to end it. How are you gonna have her drive to church and then all of a sudden they escape again? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the
And
last
she
part of
kills
the
the
movie
cop
where
with
they
the
stretched out.
environmentally conscious metal straw.
Yeah, I had that ending was funny, because it was a callback because she was like, "I got my metal straw." It's like, "Well, that's not a weapon. What the hell?" And then that was like, I just think you probably could have ended it at the drive-in movie. You didn't have to stretch it out. You could have made if you wanted to stretch it out more, make that scene longer. Make
Gotcha.
the hard-eyed killers kill more people at the drive-in without people realizing what's happening. You know, you could have had him go into cars and just like, or make him the IT guy. Make there only two killers. Make the cop be there, but I mean, maybe the cop catches the hard-eyed killer in front of the main characters, and then all of a sudden, we realize that the cop's actually the hard-eyed killer right then and there, like something like that.
I
There's
like
just a couple
I
things I would have changed. Yeah,
I was telling people when I was watching this movie, I said like this movie probably has the best girl best friend character I've seen in any movie. Whenever she was like talking or like on screen, she was talking at a million miles an hour, and like she was so charming and really funny that like I was instantly like smiling and be like, yeah, that's all right, we're doing this. She of course had like really good chemistry with the main actress, being like, oh wow, you want a little sugar with your daddy? All right. I
she
was
was
going,
funny. Yeah.
yeah. I told her to dress up for the date, being like, you look like a before picture. It's like, I was
No,
like, this is shots fired.
I
She was
would. I
actually,
I giggled at that one. Yeah,
she's actually real, and of course, the callback in the end where she proposes to him. The movie was too long. It's kind of stretched it out a little bit, and not really in a good way because I don't trust your movie, and you kind of take from your moments a little bit. It's like we got the hard eyes killer. The mask came off, it's a random guy. When the mask comes off, it's not a random guy. If the mask is going to come off, it's not a Michael Myers or a Jason Voorhees situation where the mask doesn't come off. The mask is coming off. It's someone we know. And so she's having this whole like moment in her apartment. It's like, do I really like this guy? I don't deserve anything. I'm going to be with this guy, which is like a nice moment, but I don't trust it as an audience member just because the way the movie's structured. Like, this is not it. There's still something that's going to happen here. He's not at the airport. And as Ben mentioned, the movie is stealing, just blatantly fucking stealing from Scream 4 and Scream 6. It just is, which is fine.
not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
It's not a
Both
bad
both
thing,
good
but
movies.
both are
I like
good.
Scream 6 better than Scream 4, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I like Scream 5 better than both of those with
yeah, yeah.
our good mutual friend Jack Quaid. Um, I like, I thought it worked. And it's like, yeah, obviously it ties together a lot where it does the thing that good twists are supposed to do, where it's like, how the fuck is that cop still alive if Hard Eyes is going through? Oh, because because the cop is part of the whole thing. She's part of Hard Eyes. How did they get him? Oh, because the cop drove him away. And she's like, yeah. Also, the idea that a cop is conspiring with a killer and no one in the police station knows about this. I don't know. Like, and again, yes, the cop was asking him questions, being like, "Are you the hard eyes killer?" He's like, "No, no, I'm not." The cops obviously trying to pin it on him. So yes, it makes sense in that sense, but you're asking a lot of me to be like, "There's a cop, and no one knows about this, and they've been all over everywhere." And this cop has conveniently been vacationing here and here and here on Valentine's Day, and there's not a record of it. Like, I don't know if I believe that, but I think it works well. I think the first half is stronger than the second half.
I agree. Yeah.
The Once the hard eyes killer stuff starts, where he's like, we're there after them. It's good. It's still good, but the really good stuff is one when the best friend is in it more because she was kind of my favorite part of the movie. Um, and then they have their like nice little dinner date where he is this like hopeless romantic who's lost. He's like, I think you're very beautiful. This is great. Let's talk about business. Do you want to know anything about love? I would love to know. And she's just like kind of not having it, sick of his shit, is like doesn't believe that love is real. It's all a scam. It's a sham. It's just something that people use to hurt each other. She's stalking her ex, and then kind of wins her over. Is a good guy who's not like super over the top, but is so clearly confident and competent. And they're building a nice connection. And he's in her apartment And then I think a moment works really well is when she opens the door and the Hard Eyes Killer is there. I was like, oh
That
shit!
is
Like,
the best scene in the movie because if you only watch that scene, it identifies what genre this is. It's a
yeah,
comedy horror. You open the
yeah,
door, no noise. It's a jump scare, but no noise. I wasn't scared because I'm a big man.
yeah. Big man, big man.
No, she opens the door. Is like the heart. He's there. He's like, well, what? And then the door breaks. And like, oh shit!
If you would like to
It's
watch a
just
video
it's
of Ben
so
watch,
much chaos.
if you'd like to watch a video of Ben watching Smile 2, get us to 500 subscribers by the end of the
Don't
year.
you fucking dare! Don't you
Do it.
fucking dare!
Do it. Do it. Tell your friends, tell your mom, be like, hey, there's a couple hot guys who like movies. Your mom would love it. Um,
Hot guys.
yeah. And after that, it's still good. Like, there's still, like, obviously, you have the moment where she runs away and kind of leaves him to die.
Mm-hmm.
Which I find to be kind of amusing, even though I shouldn't. And he was really upset by it. Of course he was.
Mm-hmm.
A good movie after that, but the problem it has is that it wants to be a romantic comedy while also being a horror movie at the same time.
The
And I
first
can't,
half was a
and
rom com minus the kills before.
yeah,
By the way, props to them for saying it's just we're just gonna make it a gory movie. Why not? Let's do it.
yeah,
Heads
yeah,
exploded.
exactly.
Heads got chopped off. All right, cool.
Someone got sliced the fuck up. Yeah, I like that a
Yeah,
lot. My biggest issue with the movie is that what's attractive from my experience is that I can't fully relax and buy into your sweet rom com when I know that at some moment you're gonna break the tension and jump and startle me, and we're gonna have a jump scare, and then we're gonna have a big sequence of scary hard eyes coming around. I just can't do that. That's too much of a leap for me. And I still think the scares work. I still think the romance works overall, and it's nice. And I love that best friend character. But that's what kind of stops from being like really up there and getting like a really like big recommendation for me and being excellent. Like I would say Happy Death Day is. I think it's an amazing movie. Um,
Happy Death Day is good. Yeah.
is like it kind of that kind of holds it back. It's like that movie balanced a lot better. This is the kind of angle we're shooting with Groundhog Day, and it's funny, and you kind of feel all the moments, and when the movie is supposed to be over, you trust it more. You're like, oh, that person's not there. Um, versus this movie, like just the way it's set up, I was like, no, this isn't done. You can have again heartful moments. She's thinking about it. Does she deserve nice things? Is she willing to trust this guy? Which works better in a different movie. But in this movie, I understand it and I believe she's going through the moment, but I'm also like, this isn't done. There's going to be some other shit
Yeah.
that happens. So yeah, very good, very funny. I actually enjoyed the guy character a lot. I thought he was like a new like little twist on some guys you see in rom coms. So yeah, I enjoy him a lot.
I also like that they didn't make the main characters complete idiots. The only
Yeah,
people, the people that weren't important were the people that died. They were idiots. That's
yeah,
you need at least one idiot or two idiots in every horror movie.
yeah.
And that
Because he's
was at
got
the
to
very
add to the kill
beginning.
count.
Yeah, that was very beginning. And yeah, let me just get in the squishy death machine so I can
Dude, can
hide
we can
from
we
him.
talk about that opening scene? Because what the fuck? We got a
That and
scripted video
yeah,
like that's supposed to allegedly going to probably be in 4K. This guy proposing to this girl, a script that she's written.
yeah.
The most
No,
like
I think the opening scene was probably the best scene for this movie. Because it's just chaos. I love when movies don't add music to do jump scares. That is straight horror. Like horror movie, you add the music. You get quiet and then the music right when the jump scare happens. There's no music here. You know, which means you don't know when it's gonna come. You just have to watch the movie, and I don't mind that. I hate when the music adds too because I got to cover my ears, I got to cover my eyes. The whole movie, I'm like, oh shit.
if you weren't
But
a big man, this would be a rough one for you.
yeah, I know. But luckily, I am in fact a big man.
So big.
Not as big as Hooper though.
How many inches of man do you think you have? The exactly how much do you
But
know movies?
but no, the opening scene was kind of perfect for the tone that this movie wanted to take. So
Yeah,
I like this movie overall. I thought it
yeah,
was pretty
thumbs
good.
up.
I
And the thing that
also
helped the
think they
movie,
can.
I
It's
think
just
that
good enough where you can have a second, or third one in the future, and I
oh
wouldn't
yeah,
hate it. I wouldn't hate if they had a sequel.
I'd be up for that. I'd be here for it. I'd
Mhm.
go see it. I also think that the fact that there was three killers helped the movie a lot because there were a few moments in the movie where I was like, how the hell is he there?
Yeah.
He's not
I'm like,
there. Bullshit.
this is not Friday the 13th.
Like
Come on.
he's just outside the building. Oh, he was looking at her, calling her, but then he's right there and she didn't hear. Oh, there's three of them. They're like tag teaming this
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that. By the way, I'm not accepting that it was because they have some weird fetish for killing people in Valhalla. Okay, what? Fuck you. That's stupid. All right, that's
The way the movie that like ended just that was the downfall of the
give
movie.
me a better reason
But
than that. Okay.
again, the first half of the movie, you're on the right track, to being
Yeah.
just like Scream, a good movie, just like Scream. So,
That would be a much
yeah,
better reason to like start killing people on Valentine's Day. Is this like crazy commercial, not real romance? This girl wrote this proposal speech for this guy and got super mad at the camera guy for fucking it up and not recording it right. Like kill people because of that, man. Like and
yeah,
have like some kind of misunderstanding, or maybe this person's burned and they don't believe that romance is real and it's her version. There's a better version of this movie, sure.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this movie isn't good. And I think that everyone should go watch it. And I actually wasn't going to see it,
Good
but
movie,
I
yeah.
just had a free night and I happened to check it out. And I'm glad I did. It was
Yeah.
much better than I thought it was going to be.
And there's not a lot of, horror movies about Valentine's Day. So, yeah, it was good. And it opens an opportunity for sequels, just like Scream does. You have one killer, you can have plenty of copycats, and you can figure out the story for those.
Yeah.
That's what Scream did. I think they could definitely do that for Hard Eyes. So it kind of opens the door.
Yeah. Hard Eyes, good movie, gets a thumbs up. Pretty much all the movies we watch get thumbs up. Well, just because me and Ben only really watch movies that we want to see. Like we're not going to go see unless it's like a mainstream movie. Like the worst movie I saw last year was probably Madam Web. And the reason is because there were probably worse movies that came out, and it's because like I heard they were bad, and I was like, I'm not watching that. I don't want
I don't
to.
think there were worse movies that came out. I think Madam Web was probably the worst. I think Borderlands was pretty bad, but I would say Madam Web is even worse.
Shots fired at Madam Web, which is a very great misunderstood movie. But yeah, a lot of people saw. Well, this is a bad example because I liked Joker too, but a lot of people went and saw Joker too. Like that's the worst movie. But I don't really go and see movies I don't want to watch. So if I see a bad movie, it's because someone fucked up, and they shouldn't have been bad. Next week we're talking about Mickey 17 or something else if we feel like it.
Woo!